Alright, in this video we will learn how to determine the quadrant in which the terminal side of each angle lies. Now pay attention to the fact that some of these will be special angles like pi over 3 or pi over 2 or pi over 4 or pi over 6 or multiples of those. But some of them will not. So depending on whether or not they're special angles, we will have a different approach. Alright, problem number 1 is not a special angle. So I think your best bet when it's not a special angle is to look at the coefficient, 35 over 12, and turn that into a decimal. So 35 divided by 12. Alright, because this is something you can do even on a 4-function calculator. Alright, so that is 2.9 approximately. Alright, so that means that this is approximately 2.9 pi. So as we sketch that, here is our unit circle, and alright, so a semicircle here is pi, just keep that in mind. As always, we start off with our initial side in standard position and we begin our journey. This is positive, so we're going to go counterclockwise. Okay, so this is larger than 2 pi, so it's going to be bigger than 1 revolution. So we can start off by making our 1 revolution. If I go all the way around and back to where I started from, so far I've done a 2 pi journey. Okay, 2 pi. Now remember, each quadrant is half of pi. So if I went an additional quadrant, that would be 2.5 pi. Okay, that's still less than what I need, so I can go ahead and do that. Okay, now if I went another quadrant, that would be 3 pi. If I went all the way over to here, I will have traveled 3 pi at that point. That would be just a little bit too far. So that means I'm going to stop short of going all the way to 3 pi. So I'll put my terminal side just here somewhere because we're just trying to figure out the quadrant, so I don't have to be very precise. Okay, so that means I'm going to be here in the second quadrant. Alright, so quadrant 2 is the answer to problem number 1. Okay, when you have special angles like pi over 3, it's much easier than that. Because we've memorized things and we know how to draw it. So for example, pi over 3 is 1/3 of pi. So I can just take this semicircle and split it up equally into 3 parts, like this. Okay, so each one of these is now pi over 3. So if I start off in standard position like you do, now, because it's negative, that means I'm going to go clockwise. Okay, so I'm going to go negative 1 pi over 3. So that means one of these. So I'm going to land right there. So that's going to be my terminal side. It's just going to immediately land here. Now, I didn't draw it at first, but my y-axis is right here, and this was my x-axis. Okay, so that puts us in the 4th quadrant. So this is definitely going to be quadrant 4. Alright, so that's more how you approach it if you have some sort of a special angle.